does the Greek language mean? And few of us know this. Hebrew is Greek with a mask on. And I'll leave a link below for you so that you can see various articles written by Hebrew linguists and free downloads of them. A book by Jewish professor and preface by Jewish rector, conclusively proving the Hebrew and Arabic in Greek. One of the words in Purim, fake faces. What is the word? The Jewish word is massaka. In Greek, the word maska is massaka. In Hebrew, means mask. Well, that's just one of the words. I remember I downloaded that PDF. The book is over 900 pages long, and I skimmed through a few of the words. Amazing. Another word that you all know of, Jericho, the city of Jericho, Yero, hijo, is a compound word meaning Yero, holy, hijo, meaning sound, holy sound, Jericho. So let's go to our, if you have a Holy Bible, having the Old and New Testament, if you look at Psalm 119, it's the longest psalm in the book of Psalms. It has the verses in alphabetical order. In Greek, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and in Hebrew, aleph, beta, gamma, delta. The lettering was the same. Now, what does the Greek language mean? Few of us know of. The Greek letters, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mini, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon, phi, psi, omega. Now, the English language has 490,000 words, of which 41,615 words is from the Greek language, according to the Guinness Book of Records. Greek, with its mathematical structure, is a language of computer science and the new generation of advanced computers, because only in it there are no limits. This is according to Microsoft Bill Gates. Greek and Chinese are the only languages with a constant living presence from the same peoples and in the same area for 4,000 years. All languages are considered Crypto-Greek, with rich borrowings from the mother language Greek. This is according to linguist Francisco Adrados. Now, what does the Greek language mean? The Greek language has words for concepts that remain unrelated in other languages, such as rivalry, warmth, respect. In other words, another one, philotimo, meaning self-worth. Only the Greek language distinguishes life from life, love from love. Only that language separates, maintaining the same radical theme, the accident from accident, the interest from the interest. The amazing thing is that Greek language itself constantly teaches us how to write correctly. Through etymology, we can understand what is the right way to write even words we have never seen or written. The fork, for example, for someone who has a basic knowledge of ancient Greek, it is obviously that it is written with epsilon iota, and not with an I, iota, as it's written in very aptly today. The reason is very simple. The fork comes from the verb piro, which means pierce, precisely because we pierce with this food to catch it, to grab it. Piruni is the word for fork in Greek. Also, the word specific, of course, cannot be written hidden. It comes from hidden, the one that has been judged, and certainly not from hidden, the one who has been hidden. So having many letters for the same sound, epsilon, iota, eta, epsilon, iota, and etc. Now, should not only not be difficult for us, but the contrary should help us to write more correctly, since of course we have a basic understanding of our language. This is assuming you're Greek. In addition, the spelling in turn helps us in reverse in the etymology, but also in tracing the historical course of each word. And that what can help us understand our everyday modern language more than anything else is the knowledge of ancient Greek. It's really shocking, a shocking feeling to speak and at the same time realize what exactly you're saying while you're speaking and uttering each word at the same time thinking about its meaning. It's really a pity that the ancients are taught in such a horrible way in school, the ancient language of Greek, ancient Greek, that they make you dislike something so beautiful and fascinating. Yes, ancient Greek is taught in Greek high schools. Now, wisdom. In language, we have the signifier, the word, and the signified, the meaning. In the Greek language, these two have a primary relationship, as unlike other languages, the signifier is not a random series of letters. In a common language like English, we can all agree to say cloud car and the cloud car. Once again, we agree it's valid. In Greek, such a thing is impossible. For this reason, many distinguish Greek as a conceptual language from other semantic languages. In fact, the great philosopher and mathematician Werner Heisenberg had observed this important quality, for which he had said, "My tenure in the ancient Greek language was my most important spiritual exercise. In this language, there is the most complete correspondence between the word and its conceptual content," he said. As antithesis told us, principle of wisdom, the visit of the names. For example, the prince is the one who has his own land, so land and possessor. And indeed, even today, it's very important to have your own land and home. Assistant means the one who runs on the call. Voice is voice and theo, I run. Astir is star, but the word itself tells us that it moves. It does not remain motionless in the sky. A plus support from the istimi, which means I stand. So astir, steer means stand, astir means that the star moves. What is really interesting is that many times a word describes properties of the meaning it expresses, but in such a way that it impresses and gives food for thought. For example, envy is etymologically derived from the verb I fall, which means I am reduced, and really envy is an emotion, slowly diminishes and destroys us. It depletes us, it diminishes us as human beings, and it depletes us even of our health. And of course, when we refer to something that is so much that it does not end, how do we say it? But of course, plenty. We have the word nice, which comes from time, orea, meaning ora, time, because in order for something to be beautiful, it must come in time. Fruit is not beautiful when it's unripe or rotten, and a beautiful woman is not one in her 70s, nor of course in her 10s. Even the best food is not nice when we are full, because in this case we cannot enjoy it. We still have the word freedom, eleftheria, for which the etymological mega claims despite the freedom where it is equals to go where one loves. So according to the word itself, you are free when you have the opportunity to go where you love. What an interesting interpretation. The statue is etymologized by agalomea, thank you, because when we see in the initial phase of the gods a beautiful ancient god statue, Greek statue or soul is pleased and rejoices, and from this spectacle comes a rejoicing. But if we do the analysis of the word, we will see that it is composed of agalome, mean and healing, which is equal to medicine. So to summarize, when we see a beautiful statue or anything beautiful, our soul rejoices and we are healed. And indeed, we all know that our mental state is directly related to our physical state. Parenthesis, and since the conversation brought it, the Greek language also tells us what is ugly. From the deprivation of A and the word shape, we can easily understand what to think about. Now, at this point, we can only deal with the corresponding Latin word for the statue, which is not only Latin. The Latin's name, the statue, statua from Greek istimi, that we have already mentioned, and named it so because it stands still. Notice the huge difference in philosophy between the two languages. What in Greek means something so deep conceptually for Latins is just a real thing. The relation of language to human thought is obvious. As George Orwell says in his immortal work 1984, simple language also means simple thought. There, the regime tried to restrict language to restrict people's thinking, constantly abolishing words. Its language and its rules developed the crisis, wrote Mihai Eminescu, a Romanian national poet. A complex language is a testament to a spiritually advanced culture. Being able to speak correctly means that you are already able to think correctly, to constantly generate speech and not to parrot words and phrases. Music. The Greek voice is antiquity. In antiquity, it's called avdi. This word is not accidental since it comes from the verb ado, which means sing. As the great poet and academic Nikiforos Vredakos writes, "When one day I leave this light, I will move upwards like a murmur, and if I meet angels somewhere between the blue corridors, I will speak Greek to them because they do not know languages. They talk to each other with music." End quote. The well-known French writer Jacques Lacarrière also describes the following experience from his trip to Greece. He said, "I listened to these people talking in a language that was for me harmonious but also incomprehensible music. This journey home, the mother of our concepts, revealed to me an unknown ancestor who spoke a language so distant in the past but familiar only from its sounds. I felt like I had lost them, as if I had been told one night that my real father or real mother were not the ones who had resurrected me." End quote. Now, there are a lot of words in French that are Greek roots. Now, I know because I used to speak French. I'm Canadian from Montreal. So, we were obliged to learn French. Now, the famous Greek and internationally renowned musician Yannis Xenakis had repeatedly stressed that the music of Greek is equal to the universe. But Gibbon also spoke of a very musical and fertile language, which gives body to philosophical abstractions and soul to the objects of the senses. Let us not forget that the ancient Greeks did not use separate symbols for notes. They used the letters of the alphabet themselves. The tones of the Greek language are musical points that, together with the rules, protect a language par excellence from music, as does the counterpoint taught in conservatories or the ups and downs that correct bad-sounding chords, notes the philologist author A. Tsiropoulos Efstathiou. It's also known that when the Roman citizens first heard Greek orators in Rome, they gathered to admire even those who did not know Greek, the people who shout like nightingales, quote unquote. Unfortunately, somewhere in the course of the Greek race, this musicality which the Italians managed and kept was lost apparently to the dark years of the Ottoman rule. Let us emphasize here that the people of the province, whom we often make fun of for their accent, are closer to the ancient Greek accent than we are, the people of the city. The Greek language was imposed effortlessly to the Latins and thanks to its musicality. As the Roman Horace writes, the Greek tribe was born favored with a prosperous language full of masculinity. This I've translated for you from a Greek article, and I will leave the links for the Hebrew is Greek. It was recently blocked. It was a blocked book of Joshua Yehuda, the linguist. Unfortunately, what can you say? Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.